Today, we've got the 2013 Nissan Altima 2.5S. Welcome to Road to the F1. I'm Paul Anderson. The 19th annual Christmas beard is in full effect. We are meeting people on social media. We're expanding our social circles. We're driving cars, we're doing reviews with the ultimate goal of getting to the McLaren F1. So if you'd like to see your car on this show, you can send me a DM or you can send an email to roadtothef1@gmail.com. I made a short video about this before. I'll leave a link for it at the end of this video, and you can take a look at that if you want a little bit more information about what we're doing. So today, we are in Calgary. We have got the 2013 Nissan Altima 2.5S. And I'm going to be very honest with you. When I was first offered this car to put on the show, I was very, very hesitant. Really don't want four-door sedans on this show. That's not terribly exciting. However, in other videos I've said that I'm not being picky, so we're testing that today. We have the Nissan Altima S. And you know what? I've driven it around a little bit. It's not as boring as I thought it was going to be. It has a sport mode. You can turn the traction control off. It's okay. So let's go for a spin. So the 2013 Nissan Altima S. This one is equipped with a 2.5 liter engine, inline 4, 182 horsepower, and it is hooked up to a CVT transmission. If you don't know what that is, that CVT stands for continuously variable transmission. So rather than a traditional transmission where you'll have a number of gears, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gears, whatever, this one does not have gears. It literally has an infinite number of gears. There are two pulleys which will constantly change their width in relation to each other. One will be thin, one will be wide, and they'll change like that depending on what kind of power you need in the moment. And it's actually kind of cool. This is my first time driving a car with a CVT transmission, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. And honestly, on a day-to-day driving basis, if you're just commuting and you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you would never notice that it's not a traditional transmission. The only time you really notice it is when you give it some beans. In this car, we're driving right now in standard drive mode, D, but right below it is DS. So you can shift down into DS mode, like so. And basically that's kind of sport mode to a degree. What it does is it gives you, the revs raise up, and it gives you a little bit more excitement, so to speak. And it also gives you the illusion of gear shifts, which is kind of funny for a car that doesn't have gears. But when you give it some beans and you're in sport mode, it's got a little bit of zip, which is surprising to say the least. I wasn't expecting that out of the Altima. In the higher tier of Altima, the 3.5 V6, it's also equipped with the same CVT transmission, but you get little paddle shifters on your steering wheel. So it gives you the illusion that you're doing something when in reality you're not doing a thing. This car is also has this little button on the side of the shifter, and what that does is it takes off your overdrive mode. So you push it like so, and your overdrive is off. Now, this car, again, does not actually have an overdrive gear, but it gives you the feel of an overdrive gear, or lack thereof, when you press the button. So basically, if you're going up a hill, you got loaded down with stuff, and need just a little bit more oomph from your car, you can turn your overdrive off. You'll get a little bit more oomph to get you up that hill. Likewise, if you're going down a hill and your engine braking is not really doing what it should be doing and you don't feel like using your foot on the brakes, you can turn your overdrive off and suddenly you've got a little bit of engine braking, which is kind of neat. Well done, Nissan. That's an interesting little feature. Handling wise, the Altima is equipped with electro-hydraulic steering and fully independent suspension. The steering wheel is a little bit uneventful, to be honest. It's not floating like you're driving a Cadillac, but you're not having sharp cornering like you would in a sports car. But I think Nissan's found a nice middle ground with their steering on this. Likewise with their suspension. It's not incredibly sporty, it's not incredibly firm, but it's also not super floaty like your Uncle Buck bouncing down the highway and just having a comfort cruise. So they've done a decent job of finding a nice middle ground between luxurious and sporty. I wasn't so sure about the two-tone color scheme they have going on when I first saw it, but the more I'm looking at it, it's kind of growing on me a little bit. The center console has this very sleek, polished black piano finish, which looks very nice. There's some matte black finish on here. There's your traditional dashboard materials. All in all, it's actually a decent interior. Not super flashy, but not incredibly boring either. As is becoming a trend on this show, the 2013 model year was the first year for this new styling. And I think Nissan did a very good job of this. For a four-door family sedan, it's not boring looking. It's actually got some style to it. The front end looks very nice. I like the front grille. The headlights look nice. There's nice, sharp, angular lines throughout, giving it a little bit of a sporty feel. The hood has some nice curves on it. I think they did a very good job with their styling on this. As far as appealing to mass audiences go, they did a good job without being bland. And this car looks really quite nice in white, I have to say. So, in general, this car has been rather surprising for me. I wasn't expecting it to be what it actually is. So, it's a pleasant surprise. So I think that's a pretty good place to end the show. The 2013 Nissan Altima 2.5S. S stands for surprise. It's not that boring. On a scale of 1 to F1, I'm giving this a 1.5. It's a bit sportier than I was expecting it to be. The styling is nice. Pleasant surprise. Well done, Nissan. You get a 1.5 out of F1. See you later.